Hey, gonna try to make a video on a little project I've got going on. I wanted to start messing with a 6.5 PRC, but I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money diving into that, as I just finished a 7 PRC build. So I found about the most budget gun that I could get with a Mossberg 6.5 PRC in the Patriot Predator. I've shot the gun a little bit, not very much, probably 10 shots or less. Sighted it in, took it hunting, killed a nice whitetail with it, killed a pig with it. And at 100 yards, it's shooting about a 1-inch group, maybe a little over 1 inch. But I want to play with it a little bit and see what I can do. And so I've taken it apart and found a couple of spots I thought were a little bit weak in how the action was mounted to the stock, and I made a little adjustment there that I'll show you in a video. And as I played with it a little bit more, I think there's more I can do there. So that's what we're getting ready to do, is try to beef up this the mounting points on this stock without going to a huge amount of work or a huge expense. Again, I'm trying to do something budget-wise here that anybody could do at home, and I'll show you what I've done, and then we'll go shoot the gun and see if it made any difference at all. May have made it worse, I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, I'll show you a couple of things, and then we'll try to get out and get the gun shot a little bit and see where we're at. So here is the stock off of the gun. As you can see, you know, the first thing we did was went in and made sure everything was free floating here. But if you haven't seen how these work, this comes out and this basically turns into part of the bedding of the gun. Now, as you can see down in there's a small plastic pillar there, and in the back there's a pillar that has a split in it. So that's where your action screws go through. This sits in here, and there was really nothing holding this thing up. Let me see if I can get this gun to stand up here so I can use both hands. Right here and here, when you tighten on that screw, this had a tendency to want to spread out because there was nothing underneath here to support that part of the action. So I went in and built that up, as you can see, with some glassing compound, and it has done well. It's given that action screw a fair amount of support. But as I tinker with this thing, what I see is that there's still room. This thing, see that wiggle in there? That's what I'm getting ready to try to get out of. And up here, this does not sit exactly like I like. So the plan is to go in here and fill in. We're gonna fill in here all the way up to the side. And we're gonna fill this in up here. And then we're gonna take this and push it down in there, basically embed this into that glassing, and give this plenty of support to pull the action screws down tight. And we're gonna take that wobble out of it. Now then, you ask why, and here's what I would tell you. I wanted to play with this caliber before I invested a whole bunch of money. And this is a relatively budget gun. And so far, it shoots pretty well. For what I do here in West Texas, white-tailed deer and some pigs, so far this is doing good. If this thing ends up bringing my groups in to a tighter group, I will be tickled that I've built a pretty good shooting gun for a little bit of money. But we'll keep you posted as we go along. So here's what we did, and I didn't get to video the process because I ran out of hands to do all of this. But as I said, our problems were right in here underneath this, and underneath here was hollow. So we went in with material and injected that material in here and completely filled those voids that were under here, where it came out up here at the top, and locked this thing in underneath and side to side, and did the same thing down here. You can see where it comes up to here and is completely filled underneath. You can see a little of it came out right there, which won't be in the way of the action. So now this little plastic box is in the stock. It isn't going to come out like it used to, and it isn't going to wiggle around like it used to. So now the only thing to do is put the barrel in action back on it and take it to the range and see if we did any good, if we screwed it up, or if it stays the same. I will let you know.